Hello everyone, and today I'm gonna discuss, I'll have a little discussion for you, is that does leveling in particular put you off newer MMOs? Because I've been playing the Elder Scrolls Online, and I've been playing the Wildstar beta lately, and the biggest thing that puts me off committing to these games long term is leveling. Now we're using World of Warcraft footage for this as an example again of what they did, of what Blizzard have done to combat the sort of boredom of leveling. SWTOR has done a lot as well to again stop that rot that sets in for leveling. But that's one of the things that put me off Wildstar and Elder Scrolls, was just the rate of progression just feels so slow. Playing Wildstar, the first dungeon is at level 20, which is it's taking me an age to get there, and I know my characters are going to be deleted after beta, so I'm kind of getting no motivation to get there. I really wanted to try a healer, I wanted to try a spell slinger healer, and I just ran out of motivation to do it. Just absolutely no motivation to get to 20 and try out a healing class. I think 20 is a bit too high for the first dungeon kind of thing. I mean, yes, there are group quests you can do before then, but that's really the first kind of organised content. I think SWTOR got it right, giving you a sort of trivial dungeon in the Essilus and Black Talon at level 10. But I think it was the right idea. They had the right idea. Get them in, get players in, you can sample a little bit of healing and sample a little bit of, organised instance content, which is what I want to see. I don't really like looking for groups out in the world, because you can very rarely find a balanced group. At least with a group finder or a dungeon finder, it's pretty similar. Now, the reason why we're talking about World of Warcraft in particular is because, of course, you can buy a level 90. You can just bypass the whole leveling process in World of Warcraft right now. £40 it is, I think it's $60 in the US, in the cash shop, and you can just buy a ready-made level 90 character, and I did that. Did a hunter. I got up to level 41, I think it was, and just decided screw it. Well, I didn't pay £40 for it. I pre-ordered Warlords of Draenor and got a free one. Got a free upgrade, well, not a free one really, a free boost to level 90. So I want to check out WoW. I wanted to check out WoW's endgame. So I don't know. It's alright, WoW's endgame. I've just been, I haven't really got much into it. I've just been doing LFRs basically. I did Terrace of the Endless Spring and Throne of Thunder a couple of times. Just trying to get enough gear to get into Siege of Orgrimmar, but I don't really play World of Warcraft that often, to be honest, and I'm getting a bit bored leveling my Warlock. At level 87, I'm getting really, really bored. 12 million XP to the next level. Fuck that. No way. That is kind of boring, really. But I really want to do a healer in WoW. I want to try out a healer. So when the next expansion comes, Warlords of Draenor, I really want to try a healer. I don't know which healer to go for. I mean, I'm kind of torn between a shaman and a paladin. So if anyone has any advice for me on what I should be as a good healer class in WoW, I don't know. Paladin looks cool. Shaman looks interesting. I always find them quite interesting as a class. One of them's a ranged. They're 2 DPS. One's ranged, one's melee, and the other one's a healer. As there's 3 kind of specs that they can be. Looks quite interesting. Just thought that looked quite interesting, but I don't know which one to level. So we're going to talk about how World of Warcraft does streamline. Of course, you can just skip straight to level 90. If you're not into that, you do have the heirloom gear, which again gives you XP boosts. It gives you those. I think you get, what is it, 25% you get overall. You get 10% for being in a guild. I think you get another 10 for 2 items, and you get 5 for one of them, I think. Does the weapon doesn't give you XP boost, but you get like a cloak and I think a helmet, which gives you some XP boost. So you can boost your characters through the leveling process. And Star Wars: The Old Republic does a very similar thing to WoW. We don't have heirloom gear, but we do have XP boosts we do get XP boosts. At the end of every major class quest chain and every major planetary quest chain, we are given an XP boost. You're given a 1 hour minor XP boost, and at the end of every chapter of our story, we're given a 3 hour 25% XP boost. So SWTOR and WoW are just streamlining their leveling processes. And of course SWTOR, of course, recently, last weekend, we had the double XP weekend. I leveled the Guardian. I don't think I could have leveled the Guardian. That was part of the motivation for this video, was leveling that Guardian through Kuat Drive Yards, which is such a boring pain now. That's another way they're trying to streamline the leveling, was the tactical flashpoints in Star Wars The Old Republic. But again, it just puts me off leveling in Elder Scrolls. Spending about 3 hours at level 9 and not getting to level 10, that kind of annoyed me. And there was no real major story content in ESO. Wildstar felt like the same. I was just looking at the number most of the time. I spent most time staring at the XP bar. How much XP am I getting here? I just want to get. I wanted to try a healer out. I would like to see more kind of dungeon content at lower level in Wildstar. I think that's where it could be. But again, that is the big thing that just puts you off, because questing is the same in every single MMO that you played. Questing is pretty stale. You know, go here, kill X of Y. Collect X of Y, escort this NPC here. They're all the same. WoW, SWTOR, Wildstar, ESO, it doesn't matter. The only two games that really sort of changed this up were Guild Wars 2 and The Secret World. Guild Wars 2 gave you kind of the dynamic quest, and you would have world bosses spawn, and it was kind of like raiding at level 7. I remember at launch in Guild Wars 2 playing through that, and you were doing like raid bosses at level 7, and it was awesome. There were like 50 or 60 people had just turned up, and then the world boss spawns. You get a little dynamic quest chain for the world bosses. The problem with that is that now, a few years after launch, the worlds are not as well populated as they were at launch, because most of the players are endgame, and I kind of lost interest in that. The other game that made leveling interesting, I thought, was The Secret World. The Secret World took away the number from leveling. You weren't level 7 level, didn't go to level 8. They did take away the number. You still gained XP, you still ranked up, but all you got was new ability points to add. You were kind of divided. Players were divided by their gear, though. You had quality level was the kind of thing which you got from, again, questing. You got higher quality level of gear, which had better stats, obviously. So there were still stats in it, but the thing the Secret World did was they gave you a variety of different quests to do. They gave you things like puzzle solving quests. You had some exploration quests, you had some kill X of Y quests. You know, it broke up the monotony of questing when you had to go and solve a puzzle, or if you were like most people that played in beta, just spam general chat. That kind of ruined the Secret World. Is, what's this? Oh, what's the code for this? And it's like, go read things, go look up things. You had an in-game web browser as well, so if you were bored, at least you could watch porn while you were playing. You know, maybe if you were waiting in a queue or something like that. Not suggesting you do that. Not suggesting I did that. Don't even think I did that. I see you looking at the screen in horror at me. I didn't do it. Didn't work in beta, the in-game web browser, so we had to alt tab to go into your real browser and go and and get your fill of sick filth. Sick filth. Don't do it. So anyway, back to the point of this video. Got sidetracked there again. How do you feel about leveling? I mean, SWTOR, I don't think I could have leveled as many characters without double XP weekends, to be honest. It's good, the double XP weekends are great for those of us who are on our sort of, 14th alt now, I'm on. For those of us who are on that, and we've seen all the content, I've seen all the heroic quests, I've seen all the flashpoints, I've seen all the planetary stories. It's fine for me, I just want to skip that, I just want to get my class quest done, maybe get the odd tactical flashpoint done and get leveled up really fast. But this is the thing that put me off Wildstar in particular. Wildstar looks like a great game, I really love Wildstar at the minute, but I'm just put off by that. I'm put off, and I'm also put off leveling alts, so hopefully they have a system in place for leveling alts. We want a game that's alt friendly. Again, I think SWTOR and WoW do the right thing for alts. I mean, maybe as a first time character leveling in these, you kind of get way out leveled by people leveling alts, and heirloom gear always has decent stats, and I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it has good stats in it. SWTOR has a much better approach of just giving you the 25% XP boost for an hour. I tend to save all mine for later leveling because that's when the game becomes grindy. But I don't like games that are grindy at the start. I mean, that's another question, is are these games grindy, or am I just used to a faster pace of leveling? I think that these developers need to take that into consideration when, you know, that we are used to getting characters to end game in other MMOs very quickly. That's one of the things that does put you off. I don't want to pay a subscription for the Elder Scrolls. I don't want to be playing the game for months leveling up because I just feel it's a waste of my money. That's another point I want to make, is subscription games and having lengthy level times. I don't like that. I want to get the content done when it's a subscription game. In a non-subscription game, I quite like the journey. I quite enjoy the journey. Guild Wars 2 was a great example. Later the Secret World went buy to play. Best decision for that game, I think, the Secret World, was going buy to play, because you could just explore the world at your leisure. There was no, oh, I got 2 weeks left of my subscription, oh, I got 2 weeks left, better get to end game, better rush through it. That can be a problem, is the pacing that it forces on you when you're paying monthly, because you want to get your money's worth each month, and if you don't get X amount of levels done, you think, oh, I've really wasted my time here with this game for a month. I think that does put me off personally. Newer MMOs, I don't really think the subscription model is a great model, to be honest with you. I prefer buy to play. Free to play has its limitations. Buy to play, at least we're investing some money, so we're getting something up front for our investment, and the developers don't really need to rely on, you know, the cash shop as its sole income. I think Elder Scrolls Online will go free to play. I think it's a case of not if but when. Wildstar, I think, has a better chance. I think it has a better chance of sticking around, just because endgame just looks better. I mean, haven't made it to endgame in any of these games. Well, you can't in Wildstar. The level cap is, I think, 30 at the moment for open beta right now. But again, checking it out. But I tend to just roll a lot of alts when beta and just check out the kind of low level gameplay of each class. But I would like to try out a dungeon before I buy the game, you know, and just see what it's like, see how healing is. I want to see how healing is in the game. I picked the Spell Slinger because it seemed similar to my mercenary. I even named him the same name. I'll talk about Wildstar a little bit in another video, but again, how do you feel about leveling? Does leveling put you off? Are you one of those people who loves leveling? You love questing? I think questing gets boring after a while, to be honest. Especially at low level in a lot of these games. Low level is boring. There's not enough group content. There's not enough organised group content. They seem to put the instances too far away, too out of reach for me. And as someone who likes to play a healer, I want to do group content. That's what I want to do. As someone who's playing a healer, I don't want to be doing kill X, you know, kill 20 guys, kill 50 guys, collect 6 pairs or something, whatever. You know, it's always something really innocuous. I need exactly 6. Yeah, 6. Can I collect 7? No, 6. You're collecting 6, damn it. That's what the NPC always says to you. So how do you feel about leveling in an MMO? Does it put you off? Puts me off, certainly. But I think that's one of the things that just gets to me. It just really does, because the Elder Scrolls Online is a pretty, story-wise, it's a pretty decent game. There's some decent stuff in there, but ultimately, I'm bored. I'm bored at level 9. I don't want to be level 9. I want to be level, you know, level 45 before I start to get bored, at least, because at least I can say, oh, I'm only 5 levels away from the cap. You know, and you push through it. Whereas if you're like level 9 or 10, you're like, oh fuck, I'm a long way away from this level cap. It is not worth it. It is going to take me another 2 to 3 months to get there. But again, that's that's what we get, and I wonder how it will evolve. It's interesting to see, is will these games evolve? SWTOR was very much all about leveling when it first launched, and look at it now. Look at it now. Just get to end game. Get them to end game as quickly as possible. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I prefer end content questing to leveling content, to be honest with you. I want to do raids, I want to do some PvP, I want to do, you know, hard mode flashpoints, and I want to do what heroic dungeons is in WoW. But yet again, so what do you think? So let me know. So thank you for joining me, and that is all for this video, and I will see you soon, and goodbye.